In the early hours of dawn, when Ranthambore National Park was still cloaked in silence, Marcus began his patrol. The forest, bathed in a pale mist, seemed to be holding its breath. Every sound carried weight: the distant hoot of an owl, the rustle of leaves, the crunch of dry earth beneath his boots. Marcus walked alone, fully aware that in the jungle anything could happen in a matter of seconds. But nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to see. As he rounded a narrow trail, his steps suddenly faltered. Just a few meters ahead, hidden among thick shrubs and tall grass, stood a female tiger. Her amber eyes glowed in the dim light, fixed directly on him. For a moment, Marcus felt his heart stop. The raw power and beauty of the predator left him frozen in place. He had seen tigers before, but never this close, never like this. Just him and the animal, with no barrier between them. Instinct told him to retreat, to slowly step back before she lunged. But something wasn't right. The tigress wasn't stalking. She wasn't crouching to attack. She wasn't even moving. It was then Marcus noticed the truth. Her paw was trapped. A heavy, rusted metal clamp bit cruelly into her flesh. She strained against it, her muscles trembling with every effort, but the jagged steel held her fast. The smell of blood mingled with the damp air. Marcus's chest tightened. Poachers. Only they could leave behind such a cruel device. The sight filled him with rage and sorrow. Here was one of nature's most powerful hunters, reduced to helplessness by human greed. He clenched his fists, knowing that if he walked away now, this magnificent animal would die slowly, alone. And then, from the undergrowth, came a sound. A small striped figure stumbled out of the bushes. It was a cub, her cub, the little one pressed against its mother's body, mewling softly, searching for comfort in her weakened state. What happened next left Marcus breathless. The mother tiger, despite her pain, gently nudged her cub forward, towards him. It was as if she was offering her most precious treasure to a stranger, as though she was silently pleading, "Help us." Marcus's pulse raced. Every instinct warned him of the danger. He was still only a few steps away from a fully grown tigress. If she changed her mind, if fear or instinct took over, she could end his life in an instant. But when he looked into her eyes, he didn't see aggression. He saw something else. Trust, desperation, hope. Slowly, carefully, Marcus bent down and lifted the cub. The tiny tiger wriggled but did not resist. The mother's gaze never wavered, her breathing heavy but calm. Marcus realized in that moment that she was allowing him to come closer, to do what had to be done. Summoning every ounce of courage, Marcus knelt by the trap. His hands trembled as he gripped the cold, blood-stained metal. The tigress stayed still, her enormous head only inches from his arm. Every second stretched on like eternity. At last, with one final effort, the trap sprang open. The tigress was free, but instead of leaping to her feet and vanishing into the trees, she collapsed onto her side. Marcus's relief turned to dread. Now that the trap was gone, the full extent of her injuries was clear. The wound was deep, swollen, and badly infected. The smell of decay lingered in the air. She was slipping away. Marcus wasted no time. He grabbed his radio and called for urgent backup. Within minutes, the park's veterinary team arrived. The tigress was sedated and carefully lifted onto a stretcher. They rushed her to the clinic, where her life hung in the balance. The diagnosis was grim. The infection had spread dangerously. Amputation might be the only way to save her, and even then, survival was uncertain. But the medical team refused to give up. They cleaned her wounds, administered strong antibiotics, and watched her around the clock. While the tigress fought for her life, Marcus took care of the cub. He named her Tara. Days turned into weeks as he fed her, kept her warm, and gave her affection. Watching Tara grow stronger filled Marcus with a sense of purpose. He had saved her, but in truth, she was saving him too, teaching him patience, responsibility, and a new depth of connection to the wild. Meanwhile, park authorities launched a relentless pursuit of the poachers. Patrols doubled, traps were dismantled, hidden camps were discovered. Finally, a group of men responsible for the cruel devices was captured and handed over to the authorities. The message was clear. Ranthambore would no longer tolerate such crimes. Back at the clinic, the tigress's condition slowly improved. Against all odds, she survived. Her paw bore scars, but her spirit remained unbroken. She was ready to return to the jungle. Yet a question haunted everyone. Would she still recognize Tara after so long apart? Would she accept her cub again? The team decided to release the mother first, allowing her time to adapt to freedom again. She moved cautiously at first, relearning the rhythm of the forest, but soon her instincts returned. Days later, Tara was brought to the same area for the reunion. Marcus held his breath as the cub was released. The tigress appeared, her body tense, her nose twitching as she sniffed the air. Then, recognition dawned. With a sudden rush of energy, she bounded toward Tara. The cub raced to her. Mother and daughter collided in a moment of pure joy. The tigress groomed her cub lovingly, their bond unbroken despite weeks of separation. Marcus watched from a safe distance, overwhelmed. In all his years, he had never seen a reunion so moving. Weeks later, while patrolling once more, Marcus noticed movement in the distance. 2 tigers. Instinct told him to keep his distance, but something was different. The tigers began running towards him. His heart pounded, but as they drew closer, recognition struck. It was Tara and her mother. They circled him silently, brushing close, but showing no aggression. Marcus stood frozen, hardly daring to breathe. It was as though they remembered him, as though they were thanking him. After a few quiet moments, they melted back into the forest, leaving Marcus stunned, humbled, and forever changed. He never saw them again, but he knew they were safe, and that knowledge was enough. From that day forward, Marcus's life took on a deeper meaning. Every sound of the jungle, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of animals, felt like a gift. He dedicated himself more fiercely than ever to protecting the park, working with his team to strengthen security, track poachers, and safeguard every creature that called Ranthambore home. And so, Ranthambore began to thrive. Tigers roamed more freely, animals flourished, and the forest pulsed with new life. Marcus knew his efforts were only one part of a greater struggle, but he was proud to play his role. For him, the jungle was no longer just a place of work. It was sacred ground, a reminder of how fragile and precious life is. The memory of Tara and her mother remained forever etched in his heart, a testament to trust, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between humans and nature. Protecting wildlife is not just about saving animals, it is about protecting our future. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference. Together, we can ensure that stories like Tara's are not rare miracles, but everyday realities. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story of courage, hope, and the wild beauty of our world.